Hello, everyone. There's an old joke that says, I just flew in from Chicago. Boy, my arm's tired. We just finished 3 days here in Israel. Boy, my arm's tired. I want to thank everybody for following along with us and just trying to have everyone experience the trip as much as possible. So I want to just recap our third day, which everything was meant to be a build-up to this afternoon, which I think worked out quite well. But we started off this morning, we traveled to Efrat, and through an organization called Kedma, we met with both wives and mothers of soldiers, and to hear sort of what I've been saying, quoting from Rabbi Seif, that behind every combat soldier there are 20 civilian soldiers. So hearing from the civilian soldiers, the ones who have to keep it together at home, taking care of kids and houses, or those who just have to simply try to live their lives while worrying about their sons, was extremely eye-opening and very informative for our group. The allergies were acting up, as you can imagine. It was one of those kind of days where my allergies were acting up, but really extremely important and such a valuable conversation. Just adding to layers and layers of perspectives that we're getting here in Israel over the last couple of days. Then we headed south. This was sort of the pinnacle of our trip, knowing that we're going to go south and bear testimony and witness what happened. So we first went to Netiv HaAsara, which is a moshav which is directly north of the Gaza Strip, and we heard from a resident and one of the security personnel there who walked us through what life is like there in general, the PTSD that everybody lives with from all the rockets over the years. And then particularly October 7th, he shared his own experience with his 4 children and his family and the 20 that were murdered there in Netiv HaAsara, and what's going to happen going forward. But to be standing on that ground and to see the proximity, and by the way, while we're there, it's very jarring to hear what they keep calling them the booms, big booms, because we're not so far away where you see plumes of smoke which are preceded by big booms of the totchanim, or the artillery, as they're shelling targets. It shocks you awake, but just brings everything quite to reality. From the Netiv HaAsara, that we traveled down to the Nova site. Now, I had been there a number of weeks ago in late October, and there were still cars on the side of the road, and there was just personal belongings strewn all about. But going back there, many people, and I shared a video on our virtual WhatsApp chat, but there's a memorial, a makeshift memorial, with plantings and these stanchions with pictures of all the victims of the Nova massacre, or those who were taken captive. And it's when you just walk around and you just feel a sense of, I'm not sure what the word is, but it's a holy place. It's an awe, because the hundreds of people that are murdered right there, and we're trying to bring their memories alive and keep them alive. But to see the pictures of these young faces, people that are as young as our children, and it's just really shocking. It's one thing to see the pictures and to see the Facebook posts and the Instagram, but when you are there and you see the people paying tribute and realizing the lives that were taken in that area, it's just so, it's mind-boggling to say the least. And of course, they're also even louder hearing the artillery shelling, because they're that much closer to where the action is right now, at least where it was today. We walked around, we spoke with people, we davened there, but then we had our own special service, hearing personal stories of those who were at the festival, and then reciting our own Kamal Rachamim and Tehillim and a mourner's Kaddish, which was extremely moving for our group. We then headed back towards Jerusalem, and our last chesed stop was something called Chamal Gilo. Chamal Gilo, it's again one of these operations where someone took upon himself, private citizens, that already from the beginning of October, on October 13th, he said, we're going to have to feed soldiers. So he took it upon himself, and he organized and found a space in Gilo, and he has now served over 100,000 soldiers, 15,000 soldiers a week. Every single Wednesday and Thursday night, they cook 3,600 Shabbos meals that they send to various bases and to soldiers, and showing me the videos, and also posted his Instagram. It's worth looking at. Just look at Chamal Jerusalem, and in Hebrew, Chamal Yushalayim. It's really quite fascinating. That we rolled up our sleeves and we chopped and we diced and we packed and we cooked and we mixed. But just seeing all the volunteerism in action is just so unbelievably uplifting. Even though there's so much negative that one could focus on, there's also a tremendous amount of positive because of the amount of unity and people just pitching in. And a lot of it is to just feel like they're doing something, contributing. A lot of it might be taking their minds off of perhaps the worry, but the country just definitely feels united in that sense. We ended off with a closing dinner, and we're privileged to hear from members of the Dover Tzahal, the spokesman of the department, Lieutenant Colonel Richard Heck. He works directly below. If you've seen the spokesman on TV all the time, Hagari, he works directly below him, and also we had one of his commanders, Masha, unbelievably gifted, talented girl. She said her parents are, one is from Russia, one's from Ukraine, so we said that should make for a fun family dinner. She speaks 4 languages, and she's responsible for all the internet content, the Instagram of the IDF, and she explained to us again the war, the uphill battle, so to speak, that they're fighting against the world, the media, trying to portray Israel as right and just, and giving us practical information about what we can do to help them fight this war. So I think we left on a high note, but all in all, the 3 days, which felt like 30 days perhaps, I think that we all came together, realized why we made this trip, why we took off and made the effort to come here, but to realize how, first of all, how much appreciated it is, and I would just tell anyone, if you're thinking about coming, just do it. Please do it. It's so much appreciated, and there's so much that you can do. And just seeing all the different perspectives and really feeling, because you can read about it and watch it, but when you're there and you see in the eyes of a parent, or the eyes of a wife, or the eyes of a soldier, it just makes it so much different. So I felt so proud to be able to represent you and to be able to support the causes that we did, and we'll be able to continue to support them. Everybody can certainly be involved, and if you want to get more involved, please let me know, and I'll tell you how you can do it, because there's so much work that needs to be done. But we'll just keep fighting the good fight, and we'll keep davening, and we'll keep supporting Israel, and we won't let the world tell us that we can't be who we are. And thank you everybody for following along. I'm Yisrael Chai.